So, hello everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a nice session today. As I promised, I'm getting back to you, just doing a small recap of the day. Because it happened, I took, after I finished my stream, I just took a nice trade, which covered my 5% losses, and I ended up the day on the plus 3%, which is a normal, just nothing extreme. It's like a normal steady earnings. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a small recap of the day. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so basically we came into the open and price. So we came into the open and price was already balanced down. Was already balanced down from the ETH market. If we see now at the high time frames, here there's a high time frame just above right here, basically, which is, let me see on my other screen, which was the weekly previous DVA VWAP of the second week of September of 24. Just did a small blip below, and I thought it would just carry on. At that point, I was very well prepared, so I hadn't had this support level here. I just had it later. This is one of the Martinez levels. This is why it's very important before the ring bells. You need to get ready, have all your levels drawn, all your hypers drawn, and yeah, get ready to smash it. I wasn't well prepared. I saw this levels I thought would just go below, so I entered a rushed decision with 3 contracts. It was a little bit heavier than usual. That's another mistake I did. So it's always best to wait at least half an hour until the market opens, or an hour, for price moving to become clear on which direction we're gonna go, who is in control, and all the stuff. And if you wanna go, just always go like very light. I go a little bit more heavy here, and yeah, just pay the price here. After I realize the price is not going anywhere, just got out. So basically, like around 3 points here, 12 ticks. So the price just went choppy around this level, support level, which is basically the weekly previous DVA VWAP, as I said. Tested again, very choppy action all the way. This support level held. It has held before, like many times, and I thought it would be weaker now, but seems it's holding really nice as well. I chose not to enter here because the price action was very choppy, and the buyers, it seems they couldn't go anywhere above the VWAP. So I was kind of like thinking that, the buyers are not gonna go anywhere, so we're going to buy my dip below at some point. So that's why I wasn't interested in entering, because the market was very choppy as well. There was this nice, a little bit clear movement here. I decided to enter at 56.88 around here, above the VWAP. I was just waiting a little bit to clear and get some continuation. Unfortunately, that's where I decided to get some rejection. That is, if you see this, if you see the high time frames, you will see that this one, basically like this one, it was just like a failed breakdown of the quarter previous DVA VWAP, basically like the price just caught blip, trapped buyers, and sold below. That's how it trapped me as well. Of course, I didn't lose any money. I got out break even, but you get the point. Is that was another trap there for the sellers. So coming into it, I figured out it was a failed breakdown, and I ended the short here. I got one out, one contract here at the VWAP, which is also the weekly previous DVA high on high time frames. And then I saw the price. Yeah, actually, I here because I saw the price was very choppy. I got out completely. I didn't field off some position or anything. Then I really saw that it was going, there was some form of continuation. So I entered again with the same amount, 3 contracts so far, and got out around 56.75, which is about here. Yeah, it's when I saw like all this choppiness around, and I really didn't like it. To be honest, like when I enter here, my target was this one, was the DVA low, but the way the price was behaving here you see some again some pullback, choppiness around here. I didn't really like it, so I just got out. But the end goal was that we hit the target. Anyway, we got some. I got some money back from some returns from this very shorts, the scalps. I was waiting again to clear here a lot of choppiness, and that basically it lasted for around 2.5 hours. So it was 2.5 hours in the open where we was just basically seeing choppiness around in a small choppiness around in a 35 points range. 35 points range into the open. That's insane. That was because we had the OPEX announcements. So anyway, yeah, after 2.5 hours, so around 12 o'clock, we see some price action gets a little bit clear. So I entered just after the VWAP around here. And that was my main trade today, which I held about here, just above DVA high. I got one out, and I wanted to hold the other one, but as I saw, there was no continuation to the upside, and I was waiting to see something like this, some bullish action, or even something like this, just holding above this level. I would have held it to the upside, but since I saw that the price was basically failing, it was coming down again, I decided to get out my position. Yeah, my thinking was initially to leave a runner. I'm not fan of runners because, as I realized, there are very rare cases where there will be a trend, and that would be like 10% or even lower. And I think that's for me, but because I think the amount of money you're losing from leaving one runner, which maybe it will be taken out, but leaving all this money on the table day after day after day is not worth it of chasing like a few, even 20 or 30 points, one or the other day. Very rarely to get like 20 points extra. But that's for me. And also, when I close my position, I want to have like peace of mind that, I close my position, I got my earnings. Maybe later when I have like a bigger account and I have better earnings, I can just add a little bit more position initially, and I could leave a runner without really caring where it's gonna go. But for now, I'm usually, unless it's very bullish, usually like I like to close my position entirely and cash in my earnings. So basically, you saw also today, I got out here, price went in a range again sideways, and that was above the around here. sorry, around here, there's the quarterly previous DVA VWAP. So it was just about the VWAP was holding, but I couldn't go any higher above the weekly VWAP, which is around here. So basically, like was trapped between those two high frames, and only like around 4 o'clock, 3:30, like in the evening, late session decided to push a little bit higher and push above the weekly VWAP, which is here. But that's only a little bit, basically like 5-6 points. Yeah, overall was a very choppy action, small ranges, nothing like we've seen like the previous days. Very slow tape, and I'm overall happy with my trades. I could have made better earnings if I had avoided go heavily in the beginning or even open the position in the beginning. I should have been a little bit patient and wait for the market to open before I place any trade. So that was my mistake there. And yeah, I don't really regret any of these because that was an overall good idea, good trade. It just was very choppy the action and I had to get out. And yeah, that was also like a decent, very good entry above the VWAP. Got out just about here above the DVA high and below the previous DVA low where they're going to be like sellers. And yeah, basically the only mistake I did was these like 5 points in the opening where I shouldn't have placed in the trade. I should have waited at least half an hour the market opens. Yeah, so basically, let's say I lost around 3%. I could have made by maybe like 5 or 6%, but I'm happy with 3%. The way the day played out, and yeah, I'm happy to finish the day as it is. Let me show you a little bit of the high time frames. So we see here the ETH action, small trap below the weekly previous DVA, but there was also like a technical support here also. Price trapped between the weekly DVA low and that previous DVA VWAP. Trapped, tries to go above and broke also the 200 SMA here. Again, another trap on the other side from the quarterly. It couldn't push higher. Trapped, got the buyer's trap, got in again. It couldn't push to the lower this time. I was waiting for a moment I didn't go here. I didn't enter here because I was waiting for the price to retest the exact price here. Because I remember I was waiting for this candle to see if there's going to be any continuation to the downside, and it couldn't push any lower. And when I come back in my room, I just saw it just had passed the VWAP, and I decided to enter. So that was one of the reasons, because it was choppiness as well, but that was one of the reasons I decided not to enter very low. Yeah, we see this price action. It was a nice one, and there was again choppiness in a small range. Here, let me see. So basically, another 21 points range sideways action, pretty much the rest of the day, and that was only basically today there were only two really decent trades. Three. It was this one, but was a very small one. Nothing. There was no continuation. This one was the most decent. If someone wanted to trade this one, small ranges, but I wouldn't do that in a choppy action. And then that was like late around 3 o'clock. But basically only three good trades today. Yeah, let's hope tomorrow is gonna be like the previous days. And yeah, that's the end of it. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.